Welcome to my tutorial on NGDW-BVR, Next Generation Digital Warfare, Beyond Visual Range, System. As you can see in the shortcut, the system is a reconnaissance strike integrated system. It includes a radar system that displays information about enemy ships, friendly ships, and preset coordinate on a 2D plane. And also an integrated artillery system to destroy anything you don't like in a few clicks. Note that this system is different from my Next Generation Digital Warfare, Extended Visual Range module. That system renders ships' location and information on a 3D view. Like X-ray cheat in many FPS games. And also lock on to the looked target like aimbot cheat. That would be a separate video in the future. The link for download can be found in the description. Many other systems and vehicle schematic will be given in the Azure Armada server. Link also in description. This system we are talking today will be used in the 2-use War Grand operation in Azure Armada. Feel free to join us. I will first introduce the system. You can skip the setup procedure with the timestamp if I didn't forget. Let's start by a brief explanation of the system. The system consists of 3 parts: console, onboard, and pocket. The console part is for displaying target information, receiving user input, and transmitting locked target information to the onboard computer. On the onboard computer, the required pitch and yaw is calculated and set the cannons to the required pitch and yaw with versus addition. The pocket computer allows the user to switch between aim lock and manual mode in case of emergency. The pocket computer is also used to fire the cannons. In all the system, I have many wrong comment and not used variable defined. It might be very hard to read through my systems. And don't ask me why I didn't use window API and many better methods. I am still new to CC coding. So, in the console code, these parts are for drawing the UI and handling interaction. On the UI, I have function like capping out of display range target on the ring of the circle, allowing the user to change the scale of the radar. Threat level identification of each ship. Allowing user to view target detail information like coordinate and velocity when the user click on the target icon. The user can also add a waypoint. In some vehicle-specific code, I also have these functions to warn about the cannon hitting itself and allow slight adjustments on cannon to hit different parts of the target. These functions are for controlling different set of cannons at once. However, I haven't implemented this function because I am just lazy. The system will send the target information with a modem when the user lock on to target. On the onboard code, it receive the information, process the pitch and yaw with these function, then translate the true pitch and yaw to relative pitch and yaw that can be used by cannons with this function. Then the pitch and yaw is set with a toggleable random variation in the set pitch yaw function. And the user can transmit a firing message to the onboard computer with the pocket code. Okay, that's the brief explanation. You can ask in my server for further information. Now let's talk about how to set up your own system. By the way, you can find my HX-3 artillery and Type 055 modern destroyer schematic in my server. First, you will need to build the computer. Press F3, in the center, there are 3 axes. Blue is Z-axis, red is X-axis and green is Y-axis. For the system to work correctly, you need to have the screen facing negative Z, in other words, you need to build the monitor while looking to positive Z. Now you need to assemble it. You can use the vmod scale function to scale it freely. You might already have a working vehicle that you want to add the system. You can do that, but you might need to build the monitor in weird direction or rebuild the vehicle. Alternatively, you can go to line 366 of the console code and change the ship irradiance value there. 0.5 pi equal to 90 degree. The system is designed to work with the Azure Armada mod pack. It won't work with the Tank Tussle mod pack because of lack of some peripheral. These are the mod needed. You can pause and read. As you can see, the monitor is bugged. You need to reset it by breaking and replacing it. This only happens when you first assemble it. Now, you need to place the computer. I usually prefer using Advanced Ender Turtle, as they don't need one extra block for modem. If you are using a computer, please note that you need to put an Ender modem on the right side of the computer as shown in the video. If you are using a Turtle, please be careful that the right side, the side with the Ender modem, cannot be touching any essential peripheral. Furthermore, every time you assemble the vehicle or spawn it with mod, you need to break and replace the turtle at the same orientation or else it can't detect any peripherals. This is very important. Now place a radar block from some peripheral on top. You can place the monitor and radar at any side if it isn't the modem side of the turtle. After placing the radar, the hardware for the console computer is now completed. Let's start building the cannon onboard computer. You should create a ship first. You can use the ship creator to quickly create a ship. Then, build a cannon mount on it. It does not matter if it is compact cannon mount from CBC Modern Warfare or the normal cannon mount. The orientation of the cannon also doesn't matter. The number of cannons also doesn't matter. You can connect as many cannons as you want. However, the cannons must be connected via a modem. A direct contact between the computer and the mount will not work. Furthermore, you have to have the cannon parallel to the horizontal. You need to change some parameters in the code if you want to have vertical cannon. As for electronics, you will need a computer with a Ender modem or a advanced Ender turtle. And you need to have them connected to the cannon via wired modem. Again, the modem side, right side, of the turtle cannot touch any essential peripheral. And you must place the Ender modem on the right if you are using a normal computer. Also, you need to break and replace it every time you assemble it as a ship. To check whether all the cannons are connected, you can open the computer terminal. Type in peripheral and press enter to execute. You will see a list of peripherals. And you can see the cannon mounts connected. Now you have finished all the hardware. You can now start the programs. The download of the program will be given. You can also use the pastebin for the latest version. But I am not sure if the latest version would work for every system. For .lua program file, you can drag the file from your Window File Explorer and drop it to the terminal. For this demo, I will use my pastebin instead. I will start with the console program. For pastebin, you will need to copy the code. And type pastebin run, followed by the code. Then you will be greeted with 4-channel setting. Note that for current version, only the port cannon would work. You can set a certain channel between 0 and 65,535 inclusive. If you are not worried about channel jamming in multiplayer, you can just press enter to skip and use the default value. After that, a screen will appear and no ship will be detected. That's totally normal. Now what you have to do is open the game menu. Click the little engineer goggle icon. Click configure. Access configs of other mods. Search for some peripheral. Click the arrow. Go to server config. Find radar setting. You can see a max entity search radius and max ship search radius. They are set to 4.9 times 10 to the power of negative 324 by default, which is a very small number with 323 0 after the decimal point, basically 0. You will need to change the value to an appropriate value. I usually use 9999. Now, you should be able to see object displayed on the screen if you have ships nearby. Time to set up the onboard program. Again, I will use pastebin to load the program. When starting the program, you will need to configure the control channel, cannon channel, projectile parameters, automatic spread toggle and pitch limiter. For the channels, I suggest just pressing enter to skip and use default value. As for the projectile parameters, each cannon will have different parameters. An accurate value is needed for accurate calculation for the required pitch. A list will be displayed. Pause to read. The automatic spread give a random variation in pitch and yaw to introduce slight difference in shell landing position so that you can cover entire area with artillery shells. And the pitch limiter is actually only designed for my AY-20 gunship. However, you can change the pitch limit in the code. For now, I suggest just skipping that. Now, you should take out a pocket computer. Run the Pocket PL01 code. Set up the channels or press enter to skip and use default value. Then the software setup will be completed. I will now build the auto-loading mechanism for the cannon. This video will not discuss how to make a auto-loaded in depth. Please note that although the program can fire the cannon with Versus Edition, it can't assemble the cannon. You will need to assemble the cannon with redstone. Let's talk about how to use the radar UI. First, you can see a compass. It shows the bearing of the console ship. And I don't know why, but there is a weird character next to the bearing after updating to 1.20.1. Then there are objects displayed on the screen. The O letter have a pale blue and red color. Red means that the target is within the display range, while the pale blue indicates that the target is beyond display range and is capped on the ring. There are 4 types of background color. Yellow represents a low threat target. They have low speed and low mass. Mostly tanks or planes that are not flying. Orange represents ships. They have low speed and high mass. Mostly large surface vessels like destroyer or battleships. Red represents fast-moving object. They are missiles and planes that have a high threat. Blue means that the object is friendly. I disabled the current friendly identification. This function will be added with a more user-friendly UI in future version. To see detailed target information, you can right-click at the icon, and the target info will be displayed. Note that the target info will not be constantly updated in current version. You need to return to radar display and click again to update the info. To return to radar display, you can press the back button below. At the bottom left corner, there is a scale button. You can right-click the plus and minus button to change the scale. Pressing plus means zooming out. The length of each segment of the GURD displayed on the screen will be indicated below. You can switch between 250 m and a few kilometers. The radar scan distance have been set to 10,000 at line 376. You can change it freely. At the bottom right corner, there is a waypoint button. You can right-click it to add a waypoint. After clicking the button, you need to open the computer terminal. Input the waypoint coordinates with the required format. You need to type the color as well. There are other color you can use. You can refer to line 541 in handle touch function for the color map. Waypoint also work as a target for artillery. You can use it to deliver artillery shell to a certain coordinate. And the show target info function also works for waypoints. The adjust cannon button on the top right corner doesn't work. It might be added again in future version. To lock on to a target, you need to first open the detailed target info page of a ship or waypoint. There will be 4 locks with XXX gun buttons. Only the lock target with port gun button will work now. After pressing the button, if the cannons didn't move, it is probably you are using manual mode on the pocket computer. You need to press tab to switch from manual mode to auto mode, indicated as mouse aim mode. You can move the cannon with arrow keys in manual mode. It can be useful sometime. The system automatically take the high-angle indirect approach when the target distance is greater than 830 meter, where high-angle indirect approach is possible. Otherwise, the direct shot will be taken instead. You can press space with the pocket computer open to fire the cannons. Congratulations, you are now a proud operator of the NGDW-BVR system. You can use my system on grand operation. I designed this system to be highly modular. Feel free to take reference at some function when building your own system. I have also created other system like the Vector, vertically launched missile system for my modern destroyer base on this core system. It will also help a lot if you use the system as a radar on aircraft. A short ad for Azure Armada. We are looking for more player to participate in Azure Armada's grand operation. We are currently having the 2-use war, which took reference from conflict between China and Taiwan. You can participate in both strategic and tactical level. You join each side and decide what's your force's next move. How to gain as much support as possible with geopolitics. And their events will involve air, naval, land, amphibious, special operation on the 1-5 remake of the Taiwan North region. Join our Discord server via the link in the description. Thank you for watching my tutorial on the next generation digital warfare NGDWBVR system. I hope this guide has helped you understand how to set up and operate the system effectively. If you have any questions or need further clarification, feel free to ask on the Azure Armada server, the link is in the description. You'll also find downloads for the system, vehicle schematics, and more helpful resources there. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss future tutorials and updates. And if you're interested in joining the action in Azure Armada's 2-use war grand operation, jump in and make your mark. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the battlefield, or in the next tutorial. Until then, stay creative, stay curious, and happy coding.